Hello, everyone. So today is the first lesson of Unit 8, and we're just going to keep it pretty basic for today in the sense of talking about area of triangles and squares, which you all should know from 6th grade. But we're going to make it so that there's a few more steps involved, and so that's not just as easy as counting the sides and squaring it. So our learning goals today is I can calculate the area of a triangle. We should know how to do that from 6th grade. And I can calculate the area of a tilted square on a grid. Let me move this over a little bit. By using methods like decompose and rearrange and surround and subtract. So this is really the main thing that's new in the sense of you haven't heard of it before and you haven't figured out area in this way before, but it's still simple basic skills that you guys should know from 6th grade. Sometimes we want to find the area of a square, but we don't know the side lengths. When this is true, we can use the strategies such as decompose and rearrange and surround and subtract. So the first one I'm going to show you is decompose and rearrange. What this means is we're going to break this into pieces, rearrange it, and solve for the area. So I would break this into pieces by going from corner and across, corner and down, bottom corner and up, and the other corner and across. So I basically made 4 lines cutting it into pieces, but it looks a little confusing because of these pieces here. So basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to have this triangle, right? This triangle all together. And this triangle all together. I probably didn't draw this the best way for you guys, but that's okay because you'll still get the visualization of it. So there's those 2 triangles I did in purple. And then let me do another one in blue. So then these ones here, can you see these? Not really. Let's try this color blue. So then you have these ones here. So there's this triangle and this triangle. So we have 4 triangles and then the 1 square in the middle. So essentially what we have to do, because we broke this square, we have this whole square broken into the 1 square in the middle and then 4 triangles. We need to figure out the area of the 4 triangles plus the 1 square. And that will give us the area of this whole tilted square. So if we look at the area of these triangles, remember the area of a triangle is 1/2 base times height. So we would take, this is 3 times 12, or times 4 is 12. 3 times 4 is 12, and then divided by 1/2. So each of these rectangles, each of these triangles are 6. So we have an area of 6 for all 4 triangles and the 1 square. So we have 4 triangles, all with an area of 6 plus 1 square. So that gives us 24 for the area of the 4 triangles plus the 1 square equals a square of 25. Wow, what am I writing there? 25 square units. Units squared. 25 units squared is our answer. So this one's a little difficult if you can't visualize breaking this into 4 triangles and having a middle piece. But it's decomposed because we broke it into 4 different parts and we can rearrange it, because the first time I did this, I thought of it as I would put the 2 blue triangles together to make a rectangle. and that would give me a rectangle of 12, and I'd put these two purple ones together, and that would give me a rectangle of 12, which would still give you the same answer. 12 plus 1 is 25. So it depends on how your brain rearranges it. Another way to do it, the other way is surround and subtract. So the surrounding comes from, you're going to make another square, a larger square that surrounds this one, and it needs to touch the corners of the inside square. So each side of this square needs to touch the corners of this square. So all of my corners touch the outside one. Now this outside one I made is on the grid lines. So I can find the area of this large square, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So my large square area is 7 times 7, which equals 49. So we have an area of 49 squares total here. But I want to know the shaded ones, and that's where the subtract comes in. So you can take the 49 and subtract it from the area of these triangles here. And so again, we need the area of the triangles in order to find just the shaded one. So again, I'm going to find the area of these triangles. I have 1, 2, 3 as the base, and 1, 2, 3, 4 as the height. So 3 times 4 is 12, divided by 2. These are all 6 again. All 4 of these triangles have an area of 6. So we would have the large square minus the 4 triangles is going to equal the shaded tilted one. So we have 49, because that's what we figured out the area was for the large square, minus 4 times 6, because we have 4 triangles that are 6 each. 4 times 6, or 49 minus 24. And 49 minus 24 equals 25 again. So we have 25 units squared. So those are the 2 ways that you guys can solve the tilted squares today. And you're going to have practice with that either on the Desmos or on the packet if you would prefer to use the packet. But let's continue with a little bit more practice with me before you go on and continue on your own. So use any strategy to calculate the area of the square. So you can choose the decompose and rearrange or the surround and subtract. I'm going to use the first one, decompose and rearrange, for E, and then surround and subtract for F, just to give y'all practice and be able to see both ways. So for E, I'm going to go ahead and draw my triangles. This time, instead of going all the way across, I'm going to stop it where the corners meet. That way the lines don't confuse anybody. So I made 4 triangles and a square. Notice this time our square is not 1 square, but we have 9 squares on the inside here. So we have an area of 9 for the inside square, and then we need to find the area of each of these triangles. So the base of the triangle is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The height is 1, 2. So 5 times 2 is 10. And then we need to divide it by 2, because remember, again, the area of a triangle is 1/2 base times height. So the base times the height divided by 2. And that gives us 5. So all of these triangles have an area of 5. If you decompose it correctly, all of your triangles should have the same area. So we have 5 plus 5 plus 5 plus 5, which is 20, plus 9. The area of square E is 29 units squared. F, we have, I said I'm going to do surround and subtract. So I am going to draw a square that surrounds it. Again, making sure that the sides of this new square hit the corners of our inside square. Otherwise, your surrounding it is incorrect. And we need to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we have an area of 8 times 8, which is 64. I'm going to put that over here. Minus the area of these triangles. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times 1, 2, 3. 5 times 3 is 15. 15 divided by 2 is 7.5. To make it easier, remember I said that you guys can just make both like two triangles together. So A plus B is going to be equal to the 5 times 3. So 15. That might be confusing. I don't know if that makes it any more confusing. And then C plus D is 15. Because A, B, C, and D are all equal to 7.5. So we did 3 times 5 divided by 2 equals 7.5 for each of these triangles. 4 times 7.5 equals 30, which is the A plus B plus C plus D equals the 30. I hope that didn't confuse anyone. But the 4 triangles together are 30 units squared. So 64 minus 30 equals 34. So the area for square F is 34 units squared. The good news is today you guys will be able to choose whichever one is easier for you as you work through the Desmos. So our next question, which of these squares must have a side length that is greater than 5 but less than 6? So we don't know the actual side lengths of these squares, of these shaded squares. But we do know what 5 squared is and 6 squared. If we had a square that had a side length of 5, its area would be 25. And if we had a square with a side length of 6, its area would be 6 squared is 36. And so if we wanted to figure out what the lengths of these are, and we want to know if it's between 5 and 6, the area would have to be between 25 and 36. And notice both of these are between 25 and 36. So both of them have a side length between 5 and 6. And then they explain how you know. This is where we have a little bit of writing, guys. I know you don't like all the writing, but we're almost done. So a square with a side length of 5 has an area of 25 and a square with a side length of 6 has an area of 36. Squares E and F both have areas between 25 and 36. Therefore, their sides are between 5 and 6. Okay, and then our summary question, if you don't know the side length of a square, how can you find its area? I want you guys to answer this. So answer this on your own before you glue it into your notebooks and explain whichever one of these two methods you prefer. So pick one of the two methods you like better. And then I want you to describe that method as your summary question. So it says, if you don't know the side lengths of a square, how can you find its area? We don't know the side lengths of these squares. So pick, do you prefer decompose and rearrange or surround and subtract, and describe that method down here. Thank you all so much for watching. Work hard today. I will be back tomorrow. Have a good day.